Hey boaters, welcome back. It's time to install your automatic fenders. First and most importantly, grab your manual. Take a moment to check out the safety warnings on the first page. Then, let's grab our tools. All you need to install an automatic fender is a P3 screwdriver and a 1/2-inch wrench. Be sure not to use an electric screwdriver or any other power tools, as the bolts and nuts are stainless steel and may get welded together. When installing your automatic fender units, it's important to notice that the front of the automatic fender has the automatic fender logo. The unit that we'll be installing today belongs on the port side towards the bow, and we know that because of the sticker on the bottom. On a port side installation, it's important to note that the rope's going to be coming out of the left side of the unit, and wrapped around the pulley on the inside, it should be coming from the top of the pulley. When it comes to placement, the automatic fender unit belongs behind the fender, towards the stern, with the fender towards the bow. Now to put the automatic fender up on the railing. All of them ship already pre-assembled, so we're going to take 2 of these bolts out to open up the clamps and set it on the railing. We removed our 1 bolt and our 1 nut from each one of the clamps, and we have a good spot in front of the stanchion, and our manual is reading along. So we're going to put the unit up, put the clamps over, and then put in the bolt and the nut. Always make sure that the nuts are fully inserted into the nut locks when attaching your fender to the railing. But we're only tightening things loosely so you can still move the fender on the railing, because we still have to add the buoy, tie everything together, and then push them closer to the front. So if you're installing your automatic fender while on the boat, it's easier to take off the back bolts and use those to hang it. If you're installing it from the dock side, it's easier to take off the front bolts and use those to hang it. If the pre-assembled straps are too small for your railing, we included extra sizes in the For Special Installation Only box. In order to make sure your automatic fender hangs as firmly as possible on the railing, please use the smallest included strap. When installing on a boat that comes with a Lifeline, it's important to make sure that the Lifeline is below or behind the automatic fender. So if it is touching it, tilt your unit forward so that it's in front of it. Also make sure your Lifeline is fully tightened. If it's loose, it can interfere with the fender's movement, so tighten these bolts. It's time to string the fender up on the railing. So first we're going to remove the rubber band from the line. So we're going to grab a through-hole fender and feed the rope through it. You also want to make sure that your fender is fully inflated. We're going to be putting the fender up on the railing. Our goal is for the fender to be touching the automatic fender, and then on the other side to have 4 inches to the stanchion. So we're going to need to move the automatic fender and the fender both forward to achieve that. So eyeballing it from the last adjustment, I moved the unit forward a little bit. We're going to tie it up and see how close we are to the stanchion. We tied our temporary knot to see our placement for the fender next to the stanchion, and we have about 4 inches, so it's a good spot. Now we're going to let it down and tie our permanent knot. It's important to mention that too small of a distance here can result in the fender getting stuck when deploying. If the rope gets stuck, it may get tangled inside the unit. Now, to support a railing height of up to 9 feet, the automatic fender comes with 18 feet of cord. So we're going to adjust it now to cut off all of the extra. We're going to untie the temporary knot and lower the fender down to the water, and then lift it on one side 3 inches from the water. With the fender flat on the water, we're going to lift the one side up 3 inches. With the fender lifted 3 inches from the water on one side, we have the spot where we're going to tie the knot. So right here in front of the stanchion, tie a knot. Make sure you tie the rope to the nearest stanchion to the automatic fender. Do not skip a stanchion. Now let's take our extra rope and wrap it up. This extra line wrapped around is temporary. Once we have everything adjusted, you can cut it off at the end. Tilt the unit forward until it's past the rub rail line. Now that we're confident in the unit's placement, we're going to fully tighten all 4 of the bolts on the top. Now's a good opportunity to get well acquainted with the line and pulley in the automatic fender. We're going to make sure that the line is going over the pulley. That's it for installing the unit. So next, go install your other remaining automatic fender units and we'll get into the configuration.